Since the showing of the movie The Matrix in 1999, people have wondered about humans and simulation. Are we in a simulation? Is the world we're living in right now a highly advanced computer game that feels too realistic for us to even tell the difference? But before we go to the clues of why we might be in one, after all, we wouldn't even ask the question if there are no clues. Let's first find out why we might be in a simulation in the first place. Number 1. To help advanced humans. We all see what's happening in the world right now regarding climate change. Whether or not you believe in that, you have to admit that something is wrong. But what if what's happening right now to the environment has already happened to humans in the real world? Some disaster involving nature has already passed, so humans from the real world created a simulation which we're now living in. This simulation may help those humans determine how to reverse what happened to them by observing us. Number 2 of why we might be living in a simulation. The real world sucks. If you'd watched the movie Ready Player One, people go into virtual reality because the real world is hard to deal with. There's poverty, death, and suffering. And the only way to deal with it is to go into a different world. What if the virtual reality is so convincing that we'd forgotten that we're even in one? Number 3. AI are running the simulation. The real world might have been so advanced at one point that AI was able to replicate it and reversed our roles in the society. Think of it like humans playing games, but instead, it's AI, having fun with us as avatars. Now that we know some of the reasons why we might be in a simulation, let's check some clues that might further support this. There are many coincidences in this world that cannot be explained by science. For example, we have the real-life story of Jim. But there are 2 Jims in this story. After being born, a pair of twins were adopted separately. But coincidentally, even with different families, they were both named Jim. Furthermore, even though miles apart, both Jims married women named Linda. And when they got divorced, both Jims then married women named Betty. Now keep in mind that these Jims didn't know that they had a twin until later. But when they had sons, they both named their child James Allen. Sounds like whoever is running their simulation either copy-pasted them with the same reaction, or perhaps there is a glitch into the system. If we're living in a simulation, then we have glitches, errors, and repeat occurrence. One such repeat occurrence is the story of Jesus himself. Do you know that he's not the only deity with such credentials? In fact, the similarity of Jesus to other deities has sparked arguments across the world. Some are saying that Jesus is a copycat of ancient gods, while some are saying that Jesus' story is unique. But what if Jesus is one and the same as those gods? If we're in a simulation, then the same god or hero is being summoned repeatedly, like in a video game. Another clue about us humans living in a simulation is reincarnation. Some people claim to have memories of their past lives that they can't forget. This is studied even today. One such case of reincarnation is about a boy named Stephen who proclaimed he died from the Vietnam War. Not only did he accurately describe his previous life's full name, he knew where he lived, where he studied, and the face of his previous father. What if reincarnation is a proof that we're living in a simulation, dying in the said simulation, and not having our memories or data erased? Even Elon Musk said that there's a 1 in a billion chance that we're living in a simulation. If that's the case, should we leave it alone and happily go on with our lives? Or peek behind the curtain and never be the same? If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for future videos.